Hi everyone. Today I'd like to talk to you about one of the more frustrating aspects of being a new professional or a college student looking for their first full-time job. And that is the fact that most, quote, entry-level jobs tend to require anywhere between 1 and 3, sometimes as much as 5 years of work experience. This is really aggravating for a lot of people who are coming into the workforce for the first time, because understandably they've been in school and not focused on building any work experience up to that point. And what's even more frustrating is that even internships, which are meant to be sort of the prerequisite to an entry level job, often also require work experience or can just be really competitive. And thus, the people that end up getting them are those that have had prior internships or just have a lot of great experience on their resume. So, I want to address the sort of catch 22 of how do you get experience to get experience? Or how do you build a resume without direct work experience? So, I'm going to be talking about several different strategies that have little to no barriers to entry, and you can use these to get your foot in the door for your first internship or for your first full time job. Before I start though, I just want to show an example of what I'm talking about. So this is a digital analyst role that was just posted on LinkedIn a few days ago. And as you can see, it requires a minimum of 1 year of online marketing experience working with analytics, reporting, and user feedback, advanced level in Excel, 1 to 3 years experience working directly with analytics tools such as Google Analytics or Adobe Analytics, SQL experience, retail experience, consulting experience, and on and on and on. And I wish I could say this was an anomaly, but this came up right away when I was searching for entry level positions on LinkedIn. And stuff like this, like I said, can be really discouraging and really frustrating. So I want to give you some solutions on how to build skill sets, and I'll kind of do it within the context of this specific position as I teach you. So the first strategy I want to talk about is building technical skills or other skills independently online. Going back to our job description, again, a couple of things that they were looking for were online marketing experience with analytics and Google Analytics. One of the really nice things about being in the 21st century is that we have these things called MOOCs or massive open online courses, and these are basically online platforms that offer these skills and other niche sets of knowledge either for free or close to free. They have slightly different models, but they're pretty similar. And these are some examples here. So we've got LinkedIn Learning, Coursera, edX, Skillshare, Udemy, and Khan Academy. So for example, something like Coursera, this is a platform where you can actually take college courses for free or close to free from some of the world's top universities and professors. And by completing the course, you can then say on your resume that you have that skill set. So, for example, marketing analytics, you can say that you've now completed a course in marketing analytics. But what's even more helpful is that for a nominal fee, these platforms will often allow you to earn a certificate, which provides further verification that you've achieved that competency or that skill set. So here's a couple examples of what you might see if you were to go to some of these massive open online courses. The first here in Coursera, you can see that they actually offer a digital marketing specialization. So this is a 6-course specialization that you can enroll in for free from a real university. And that is going to give you that foundational skill set that you would need if you were applying for that marketing analyst job that we were looking at. Here's another course offered from Udemy on the Complete SQL Bootcamp in 2021. Go from zero to hero and become an expert at SQL. So again, just another example, but there are literally thousands of these courses available through many different platforms, even more than the ones that I listed there. So if you're looking to build a niche skill set, especially if you're earlier on in college and maybe you don't have the prerequisites yet to enroll in that course at your own university, or you want to enroll in the course but the course is always full. This is a really good way to get those skill sets instantly. You could enroll tomorrow because they usually have just rolling enrollment, which means you can enroll at any time. So that's one way to build skills. Another way is through your college and university by basically building your own course or doing an independent study. Most universities offer students this option as an elective, and what it basically means is you build and customize your own course around your personal learning objectives. So if you know exactly what kind of job you need and what kind of knowledge and skill sets you need to get that job, but there's not really a course available that addresses that knowledge or skill sets, this is a really great option. It's also great because there's some perks on the periphery. An advantage of doing an independent study is it's an easy way to differentiate yourself from other candidates. No one else at your college or university is going to have taken a course with this title. This is something that you came up with. It also signals to employers that you're someone who's proactive and you're a self-starter. You had a problem and you fixed it. You needed the skill set and you got it. So that kind of initiative is something that in itself is really great. And it's something you can talk about too as well in a job interview if they want an example of a time that you've shown initiative or been proactive. And again, it's just really great to be able to study content that is customized to you. There's very few students that take advantage of these sorts of opportunities, but honestly, I think it's one of the best things that you can do while you're in college. So for this specific position that we were looking at in digital marketing, these are some of the courses that you could theoretically build. Things like digital marketing in retail and SQL for marketing. But really the list is unending. There's lots of different combinations and topics that you could come up with that would signal that you're somebody who is proficient or is genuinely interested in your particular field or industry. But it's not just about building those skill sets that you need for a job, it's also about practicing them for a certain length of time. So the next 3 strategies will focus on that, starting with joining a student organization and taking on some role with responsibility or a leadership role. And there's a lot of benefits to this. As I mentioned, it's low barrier to entry. You can pretty much join most student organizations without too much hassle. Sometimes they'll do interviews, but a lot of times just for membership, it's really easy to get in, and then from there you can work toward a leadership role. If you don't want to deal with possible interviews, you can also start your own student organization through your own customized topic and then have other people join you in that. The other thing with student leadership is there's high turnover because everyone's only in college for 4 years, or that's the plan, right? So if you have somebody who is in a president role or vice president role, there's a very good chance that they will not be able to be in that role the following year or the year after. So there's lots of opportunities for you to move into those places. And there's a lot of diverse roles and responsibilities. So you can find a student organization around any personal or professional topic that you're interested in, and especially those larger state universities, there's usually hundreds of student orgs. And then each student org needs somebody to provide leadership. They need someone to do marketing. They need someone to do recruiting. They need someone to support the technology. They need someone to plan events. So whatever skill you're trying to build and get some experience in, there's usually an opportunity to do that within student leadership positions and student organizations. And then lastly, I just want to mention, this is also really great because of the networking benefits. This is an opportunity in college for other people to see you in action, working and building those skill sets. So these are people who might be great references or provide you referrals later on down the road when you're looking for an internship or a job. The second way that you can actually practice some of these skill sets is through volunteer opportunities. This is really great because in addition to getting that personal benefit of professional development, you're also helping your community and giving back. Additionally, you're flexing a lot of soft skills in these roles. You're showing things like teamwork, strong work ethic, and service and commitment to community. And just like with student organizations, you can usually find a role here that is related to your specific career interest. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is entrepreneurship or starting your own business. This can be really daunting to students because you're thinking, look, I've already got a lot on my plate. I've got full-time classes. I've got maybe a part-time job. I don't know if I want to start my own business. But this doesn't have to be something that is a full-time gig. This could be something you do on the side. You set your own hours, and it's just a way for you to build your skill sets and earn a little bit of money, right? So maybe you like photography, so you teach photography lessons, or you start a little photography business, or maybe you do some tutoring, or you teach tennis or chess. So whatever it is that you've already got a skill in or is a hobby for you, you could probably turn that into a low-key business that has little to no startup costs. And again, just like with the independent study option, this is a really good way to demonstrate that you are somebody who is a self-starter who takes initiative. And it's something different about you that a lot of other candidates are not going to have when they're in the job market. So there you go. Those are 5 different strategies that you can use to build up your resume that don't involve direct work experience. And I hope that by implementing those strategies, you are able to get some real work experience in an internship or a full-time job. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.